Today I will be talking about crisis management and multinational corporations, lessons learned and best practices. Most MNCs have to deal with crises every year because the decisions they make might offend certain groups of people, including entire government organizations. Today I'll be talking about three crises from three different multinational corporations, how they handled each crisis, and the lessons that can be taken away from each one. And then at the end, I will go over what steps an MNC should take to best avoid letting a crisis ruin their company. I'm going to first discuss a crisis surrounding the large oil and petroleum MNC BP, which is also known as British Petroleum. Back in 2010, BP had a major crisis, which was known as Deepwater Horizon. So essentially, this crisis happened when an oil platform pipeline got damaged and exploded and released over 3.19 million barrels, or around 134 million gallons of oil, into the Gulf of Mexico following the explosion. This resulted in lots of controversy for BP, um, which they subsequently had to deal with. BP paid over 20 billion in recovery efforts for their disaster. Despite the challenges this company had to face in regards to their 2010 incident, they have made a good recovery. One of the main ways they have been able to do this is through the increase in safety measures and for drilling and refining crude oil. There has not been a major incident since with their company. This has helped to rebuild their brand image and recover from their lost profits. Currently, BP is doing well and has seemed to recover a lot of its losses from the Deepwater Horizon incident. They are investing in green energy and transitioning themselves from a strictly oil and petroleum company to a multinational energy company. They are currently behind Shell and ExxonMobil in sales. However, they are ahead of other companies like Marathon and Chevron. The second, and also, just to show you, here we have an image of the Deepwater Horizon spill, and here is BP's logo. So, the next MNC crisis I will be talking about is Subway and what is known as Tuna Gate, as well as the sliced meat controversy, which happened in 2020. Um, Subway is an MNC with over 40,000 locations worldwide in over 100 countries. In 2020, a consumer of Subway sued the company for allegedly not serving 100% real tuna in their tuna sandwiches. This accusation caused Subway a lot of bad press, leading them to a decrease in sales and a decreased brand reputation. They also had another scandal where they used to claim that they cut their meats in house, but it was revealed that their meats come pre sliced from the factory. These two food quality related scandals severely hurt Subway's brand image. Today, Subway continues to lose popularity and sales. They have closed around 6,500 stores between 2015 and 2022. Overall, Subway was not able to successfully manage this crisis, as shown in the increase of stores being closed over the past decade. This MNC serves as an example of how not to handle a scandal. Instead of providing definitive proof to consumers to back up claims that they had quality ingredients, they showed a lack of evidence. Part of Subway's decline is also due to the change in consumer preferences and market saturation. Many consumers these days value high quality ingredients and are willing to pay a premium for those better sandwiches. They don't see Subway as a valid option anymore for high quality sandwiches. And here's Subway's logo and an example of what a Subway tuna sandwich would look like. All right. And the third and final case I will be discussing is Volkswagen, with the Volkswagen emissions scandal of 2015. So this final MNC had a scandal back in 2015 when it was revealed that Volkswagen lied to consumers in the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, about its vehicle's emissions. This was collectively known as the Volkswagen's emissions scandal. In 2014, Volkswagen installed sensors in over 500,000 of its diesel vehicles that tricked EPA emissions tests into passing when on the road or um, when being tested, but when on the road, the sensors would read correctly, and it showed that they were releasing over 40 times more pollutants into the atmosphere than what the EPA allows. This immense scandal tarnished the brand reputation of Volkswagen and cost the company over $33 billion dollars in settlements to consumers in the US government, with around $25 billion going directly to consumers. These cars release certain pollutants, as mentioned previously, 40 times higher than what is normally allowed, which is obviously a major issue. Since the emissions scandal, VW has managed to regain a lot of the consumer trust and support that it lost almost 10 years ago. This is in large part due to their increased investment in green technologies, including electric vehicles. Today, Volkswagen stands healthily with around 4% of the US car market share. They are now the 10th largest automobile producer in the US, slightly behind Tesla and Subaru. Today, Volkswagen is known for its sleek designs and electric vehicle models, which are competing for space in a market saturated with all other automakers doing the exact same thing. And here's their logo in one of their factories. All right. And finally, the takeaways from these scandals and crisis management tips for multinational corporations. So as we learned throughout these three cases, only two of the mentioned companies have recovered from their scandals: British Petroleum and the Volkswagen Group. There are certain things multinational corporations can do in order to better manage crises and recover from them. One of the most important things they can do to enhance their flexibility and adaptability. Crises can happen in an instant, so it's necessary for large companies to be able to adapt to a dynamic situation in order to salvage their brand reputation and potentially sales. Another way that MNCs can better prepare for crises is by developing a crisis management team specifically trained to deal with the scandals and bad press. These teams work to ensure that the company does not make any more mistakes during the scandal and reduce existing impacts. With com- with companies with subsidiaries in different regions across the world, it is also important to staff these crisis management teams with locals who are well informed on the local issues and sensitivities concerning their company. It is also crucial to maintain proper and effective communication, to help reassure stockholders and employees. Without Without these best practices, a company risks letting their crisis take themselves down with them. A diversified set of tools like adaptability, crisis management, and effective communication allows for multinational corporations to come back strong from a damaging crisis. Right. Thank you.